Welcome back to season 2, Beyond the Basics. So what is a Like a Conspiracy podcast? We are two guys fighting our way through the challenge of staying fit and active as we get older. The podcast is a no-fluff, step-by-step series that turns fitness from try harder into your own personal operating system that you can actually run. Instead of random tips, each episode stacks on from the last, so progress becomes automatic. So who is it for? You, cyclists, runners, gym goers, swimmers, crossfitters, anyone who wants steady, sustainable gains without burning out or getting lost in the data. So let's get into episode 1 of season 2. And if you've been wondering why your habits are failing you, you aren't alone. And today we are going to help you fix this. And to do this, we're going to take you through 3 steps. Number 1, we're going to help you find your identity, how the wrong identity can derail your habits. Number 2, we're going to help you upgrade the way you see yourself. Self-perception is the lens that controls every action you take. And number 3, then we're going to look at how you can align your behavior with who you are becoming through results and proof stacking. You'll find that your identity underpins the success of your habits, and upgrading your self-perception can help change everything. And believe me, belief steers behavior more than motivation.
Set your make. Hi, I'm Andrew, and I've got Nathan here with me. We're moving past the surface level hacks this episode into the real mechanics of lasting change.
All right, Andrew, it has been a fantastic week. I was just saying before we started the show, before we get into it, before we talk about identity, because I'm really quite interested in this. I broke my bike. So I was meant to head out. For those who've been listening,
hops?
Sorry?
Was that doing bunny hops?
Well, I would like to say I could do a Peter Sagan and a one handlebar, one hand wheel thing. Yep.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't doing that. For those that have been listening, we've got the Amy Gillett Grand Fondo coming up in about 6 weeks. And so we've been training for this. Now I normally head out to my training area, which is Mount Dandenong here in Melbourne, Victoria. And so I was getting ready for that. Now I had taken my bike off my trainer. Now I shouldn't have my proper road bike, my Cannondale, on my trainer, but I kind of get lazy sometimes, and I think it's a bit faster than the old Beta that I've got. Anyway, I was taking that off the trainer and putting the rear wheel back on. Now I had to put the rear wheel back on, obviously, because to be on the trainer, but also because the rear wheel had a flat from when I was out in the road the previous weekend. Yep. So I changed the flat, put the tire back on, and I was tightening, because it's an axle through axle. I was tightening it.
Yep.
And it's difficult because like it's got a Newton meter, force that you got to apply to it. And I thought I had got it, and then all of a sudden I hear this clunk, and I went, "Oh, what the fuck's that?" Ooh. And then it kept turning. So
you didn't strip the thread in it, did you?
Yeah. Oh. And then I panicked because I wasn't sure if the thread was part of the frame.
And is it?
No.
Be an insert, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank Christ for that. But I was panicking, so I thought, I've absolutely buggered this, and I cannot afford a new frame. Just no way.
See, this is the downside of all these gym sessions you go to. You don't even know your own strength anymore.
I don't think that's the case.
I think it is. Like, for mere mortal, 4 Newton meters is now what they can test in their fingertips.
I think it's like 9 Newton meters or something.
Oh, see, look at that. You're like bloody a walking Superman.
Well, as I was just tightening it, I was thinking to myself, this is just where I want to. I was about to let go and go, yep, I've got that. That's fine. And then it just went clunk. I went, oh. So
your calibration scale's off, mate.
Yeah. I've got to readjust.
You've got to readjust for the. Yeah, that's right.
And so, and Cannondale being Cannondale, and this is a System 6. So this isn't this, look, for anyone who knows bikes, Cannondale got a couple of different variations. They've got a Super 6, which is the more common one. They've got the Evo, and then they've got the System 6. Now that's what I've got, the System 6, which is sort of a higher end, but it's very bespoke in terms of where you get the parts from. So I took it into the bike shop, asked the guy, he goes, oh, I'll have a look at it, puts it up on the rack, takes it apart and looks at the part. And he goes, I can get it. I don't have it, but I'll order it in for you. I said, oh, okay, well, when would you get it in? And this is just basically the hanger bracket. So I don't know if you know, that's a little aluminium piece that joins the derailleur to the bike, but that's also where the thread is.
Yeah.
And they're like about $20.
Yep.
Not too bad, like really cheap. And he goes, yeah, I'll get it in for you. And I said, well, how much is that going to be? He goes, that's going to be $100, thanks. I went, what? He goes, yeah, really bespoke stuff. I've got to order it in. We don't have it, yada, yada, yada. It's like, oh, great. So my bike is sitting just over there, out of action for the next week. So I'll have to get the beta.
Oh, mate, that's the problem with fancy bikes, fancy parts.
Yeah, expensive parts.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky I didn't bust the frame, and because I shredded the back in another long story, which I won't go into. I had a giant Propel before that, again carbon frame, and I completely shredded the back of the frame where the wheel goes into it. So, yeah, not easy things to replace. And how are you feeling, mate?
Well, I've been crook for probably for last week actually, kind of last weekend, and then
you're looking good now.
Oh, that's just the lighting in here. Well, I am feeling a bit better. Certainly feeling better than I did last weekend, but still not quite 100%. So
getting there though.
I don't know. Still quite chesty, like phlegmy and crap like that. So
all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know whether that COVID's like after you've had COVID like a few times, whether that actually has any lingering issues.
Like
makes you more susceptible to colds or makes you harder to get over them and things like that.
Do you think?
I don't know.
I'm genuinely interested because there's all these studies. I don't have to spend a lot of time talking about this, but there's been more studies coming out now about the long-term effects of COVID and also the vaccinations as well. And they're sort of saying, a lot of people who have had COVID are presenting with heart issues and all these sorts of things. And I'm going, well, okay, that doesn't sound great because I've had COVID, I think, a couple of times. So, not awesome.
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I think that, yes, it does make a difference, like in terms of more susceptible. Other times I think it's, just all on the mind. And it's just me imagining it's worse. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be just all the sick kids I hang around with all the time.
I'm tipping it's that. When they come up to you and Mr. Hudson, and they sneeze in your face.
Yeah, sneeze, cough. Yeah. No masks. It's just cesspool of germs.
Complete inconsideration, hey?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So yes, I've got to get back on the horse. I've got to get back on the wagon.
Yep. And that's
my
okay
too. Fitness charts is already going backwards.
Yeah, well, this hasn't been a good week. I've only posted 30K this week.
I think I've done 12,
which is really not good.
No,
but that's okay. I was actually beating myself up during the week, going, "Oh, I'm just not doing it," and I'm struggling to understand why it is that I'm sort of not doing it. I knew that I'd be going out riding this weekend in the mountains. I say the mountains; they're not very mountainous. But I was going to get prepared for that. I was going to do 70, 80 Ks out there. And then I was going to do some more on Sunday, and this nothing like it. It didn't happen. So, because I had been out on Dandenong, I think 2 weekends ago, and I've been messing around with tire pressure in my tires.
Oh,
what
sounds like you're getting serious.
Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking because you see everyone talking about lower tire pressures are faster rolling resistance.
Yeah.
Do you?
I run between 90 and 100 psi.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I went down to 60.
Oh.
And it was, I went out with Steve and he was smacking me around all over the place. And I think I beat him up half of one climb, and then all the other climbs he just sort of just rode off into the distance.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking that it was good training, but I don't think I'll be doing 60 PSI again.
No, I think a little bit higher than that.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely do that. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. So we're coming down to the last 6 weeks before we head down to Lawn. We're going to do the Amy Gillett Grand Fondo, 120 kilometers, 1,800 meters of climbing.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping the weather's going to be okay too.
Yeah, me too.
Because it does get cold.
Do I need to bring a gilet?
You may have to. Yeah, definitely prepare. As I said, the last time I did it was about 9 years ago. And we got to the top of Skeens Creek, which is the second climb. And it's not, we're talking like we're just right next to the ocean. And there was, I don't know, ice or sleet or something on this, like crappy snow on the side of the road. Yeah. That's kind of how cold it was. And it's the only place ever that I've cramped. I never cramp. And on the top of that climb, I've cramped both times I've done it.
Well, if it happens again, then it might give me a chance to catch up to you.
I think you'll smack me.
Nah, I don't know about that.
I think you'll absolutely, I'll be battling to stay on your wheel. You're the climbing demon.
No.
No?
Oh, no. I just grind my way up.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Andy,
Jack and Dandy?
Yes. I can't think of Andy's name. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to look it up.
Starts with a K.
Yep. For this top that I'm wearing. Where is it?
It's probably written on the top.
Kite. Andy Kite. There we go. So hang on, put my microphone down. There we go.
Cycling the Tour de Cure.
Yep. So he's got some AHDR cycling Tour de Cure, which is a fantastic cure cancer. Yep. Changing lives.
One wheel at a time.
Yeah. Basically, raising money for cancer treatment. So I'll put a link to a link of some description because they're not online. You have to order them through Andy. And if anyone's interested, they're like $40 each to Australian, plus including delivery. So
how's the sizing?
Good. Accurate? This is a medium, yeah. Although I'm a little bit concerned that it's crooked.
Oh yeah, I thought your pecs are out.
Well, I'm trying to beef one up. There we go. I gotta.
There you go.
Pop them up.
Yeah.
But it feels good. The material really feels good. It's like a really, really dark blue, which I love.
Looks like must be the lighting. It looks black.
Yeah, it does look black, but it's actually. I mean, you could if you looked twice, if you sort of had a quick look, you think it'd be black, but it's a very, very, very dark, like midnight blue. Yeah. Oh, even darker than that. I think it's like one shade off black.
Oh.
But it's quite good, and it feels very nice. The material is quite good, and the delivery was super fast. Like I got it like the next day.
Next day.
Yeah. Or maybe a day after. I'm not too sure.
That is quick.
It was very quick, and he did a great job. I promise I'd shout him out. I got to wear it around. I paid for it too. It's not like he gave it to me for free. So we're all chipping in.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into this. Okay. So we're talking about why identity beats habits. This first segment is fundamental. Most people think habits are the holy grail of transformation. Stack enough of them and you'll change. But here's the thing. Habits are going to fail if they're not built on a deeper identity. Now, I'm really interested in this because I've been running this through my head, sort of trying to understand this. So we're going to break down why so many habit building attempts fail, why the fitness industry keeps you hooked on surface level advice, and why the right identity might just be the missing link that leads you to sustained change.
Yeah. I mean, you think about somebody buys one of those calendars, every New Year's, and for the first few weeks, they're ticking off the workouts they're doing, or, they're logging meals and all that sort of stuff. But then when the life gets hard and things get in the way, the planner gathers dust. And why? because deep down they still see themselves as someone who can't stick to routines, and the new habit couldn't survive their old identity. So they still see themselves as a person who can't follow that routine or can't stick to their goals because it's happened in the past or whatever that is.
Yeah.
And they can't move forward from that.
Can't get past it. Yeah, look, we all know that the habit advice: drink more water, train 5 times a week. God, I'm struggling to get 3 times a week at the moment. Yet it so often fails, even though they don't touch the real driver of behavior, your identity. Now, when the excitement fades and the old story pulls you back, habits without identity always collapse. The brain defends consistency and how you see yourself. As James Clear writes in Atomic Habits, true behavior change is identity change. Now, when I was looking through this and trying to get my head around this, I was looking up various athletes and people, CEOs and whatnot, and how they've sort of, adjusted when it comes to identity. Now, one thing I didn't know about.
Top of that list.
Sorry?
Did I come at top of that list when you were Googling that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, it was, couldn't get past you for the first page. But this is the funny thing, like Kobe Bryant. Now, I didn't know this. Yeah, the Black Mamba. I didn't know that he had done all this. So he just didn't do the drills. He changed who showed up to them. So early in his career, he had some issues. He deliberately crafted the Black Mamba alter ego. Calm under pressure, hyper-disciplined, ruthless about the details. That identity, hang on a second. I've got, there we go.
Oh, highlights package.
Yep. So that identity gave him a filter for choices. What would the Mamba do right now? Habits like 4 a.m. workouts and obsessive video replay study stopped being heroic one-offs and became expressions of identity. The results weren't magic. They were consistent because the behavior finally matched the story of who he believed about himself. So his list of accomplishments are just phenomenal. 5 times NBA champion, 2 times NBA Finals MVP, NBA Most Valuable Player, 18 times NBA All-Star, 4 times NBA All-Star Game MVP, and the list goes on and on. It's incredible. Like, so I didn't know that was something that he had gone through and done, reevaluated who his identity was, and basically said, okay, I'm going to come up with this whole different persona. And so that got me thinking about it. It's like, well, okay, well, what kind of identity? And I've been toying this around in my head for the last few weeks. So essentially at the moment, I'm trying to understand as a 52-year-old guy, trying to go to the gym, trying to lift heavy, trying to get there at least 3 days a week, if not 4, if I can make it. And then cycling as well, with various, there's a couple of racing teams that we're mixed up with, we're working with. And then trying to, just find that time to train for outdoor rides as well, like we're going to do. And I guess I'm just, it's such a new concept to me that I'm trying to figure out, who I am. Because I realize now that I'm not just a guy that goes to the gym. And I'm not just a guy that rides a bike.
You're much more than that, Nathan.
Andrew, I love when I'm talking to you because you make me feel so good.
You've got about 4 personas, I reckon.
Well, anything to...
You got the dolphin that
Yep, the dying dolphin.
The dying dolphin. So that's, one of those that would be particular to the racing part of that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And, you'd have probably a gym persona.
Yeah, I'm the old guy at the gym. That's what I am. Oh, so how was this? Sharon and I were at the gym the other week. Was it this week? Last week? And anyway, so we're finishing up and we're doing arms. So just curls and that kind of thing, skull crushes. And so we're at the benches in front of the mirror with all the dumbbells are. And this guy comes over to me and I'm like watching him walk over to me. Like, it's clear that he's coming to speak to me about something. I'm like, okay, here we go. What's going on? He
Yeah.
goes, mate, sorry to interrupt you there, but how old are you? I went, what? And
Oh,
I said, oh, we're about to turn 52. And he goes, oh, I just wanted to say, you're looking fantastic. And I
I
really
really
did.
admire old guys like you coming to the gym.
That's what I started thinking. So now I'm the old guy, and I'm starting to embrace that a bit more. And
Yeah.
so if I can motivate guys to push a bit harder because there's an old guy standing next to them doing the same weight or more weights, then I guess that's a good thing. So I'm the old guy that goes to the gym. I'm starting to realize.
Oh. You might just need to tweak the volume down and Kobe there a little bit, mate.
Oh, okay, yep.
But yeah, no, that's a fantastic thing. So yeah, you've got the old guy at the gym persona now too. See, you're like a schizophrenic, multiple personalities
Yeah,
you've got.
yeah, yep.
That's the problem. You just got to narrow that down to one, or push them into one.
Yep. Yeah, I've got to yeah. So I know from a cycling perspective, I've now identified that I'm a sprinter. I'm not a climber, so I was happy to let that go.
Ooh, yeah.
So now I'm focusing on sprinting and sprint efforts. So much more. Not that I wasn't doing it before, but focusing more on a lot of leg work.
Yeah.
And doing that kind of thing. What are you? If you sort of had to generalize what you think your identity is?
I'm a bit the same as you, I suppose, in terms of I've got my teacher identity, my work face that I put on, and then probably my cycling one, and family one, and everything else. So, I don't know. How I would identify myself in terms of an athlete sense, like not the family side or anything else or the work side, but in terms of an athletic side. I don't know. I've never sort of actually really given it much thought.
It's interesting, isn't it, when you start to sort of sit down and think about it?
Yeah, if you had to challenge somebody to come up with that, it certainly would be like how. And I'm certainly guilty of. There was a couple of years ago that I think it was for Christmas or something like that. It was Amanda said, "Oh, what do you want for Christmas or what do you want for your birthday?" It was one of those sort of events.
Yep.
And I said, "Oh yeah, gym membership would be great." And we got a gym that's only just down the road from us.
Okay.
And so I got this membership, and I went like religiously, for I don't know, a couple of months at the start. It's probably around that school holiday mark where we get like 6 or 7 weeks break. So it's a really good time to try and embed that routine. And I was doing really well, and then as soon as work went back, that whole routine just went out the window, and it was just too hard, and didn't have that identity, I suppose, in a way to continue to push on with that. Like it just everything else got pushed. Well, things got pushed to the side, and that made room. And it was like when you look back at that, it was like the dollar value on that was just the gym would have loved me. Thanks very much. We probably
thanks for the donation.
Yeah, exactly. You've probably an eighth of whatever it was is you've used, and the rest of it's just gone. But I think that consistency, that's if you're not a consistent person, that's where those old habits can creep back in, and it's trying to get some sort of routine into that.
And I think trying to find that identity, and I spoke about with Sharon too. I was like, well, what do you think? And we both sort of walked away kind of contemplating different things. And for the last couple of weeks, I've sort of been throwing that around my mind about who it is that I need to be, and I think getting rid of things that I like versus the things that I want. So I'd like to be a great climber, but I know that's not going to be the case. But I can be a good sprinter, so that's a good example. So I'm a sprinter as opposed to, and I'm good at like flat, fast stuff as opposed to long, draggy climbs, that type of thing. So yeah, certainly I'm starting to distill that identity down to something that yeah. So I'm an old guy who can sprint and goes to the
Oh,
gym.
that's good. I did one of those Sufferfest, the training program Sufferfest.
Yeah, yep.
They had this thing where you could do like a series of workouts or whatever in there, and it was meant to work out what skill area you were. So whether you were a sprinter, a climber,
Yeah.
a puncher, or what was the fourth one? There's a ruler, the same
Yeah,
RO.
I think Rulia.
Yeah, is that the same as a puncher?
Kind of, yeah.
Punchier?
Yeah, punchier.
Similar? I don't know. There was 4 anyway,
Yeah.
and I ended up being the roulier, which I think is just a bit of a jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm.
So I just took that as being average across all the boards.
Yeah, but that's what would make you, I think, a really good sort of GC kind of guy. Because
Yeah,
you can take on all those different scenarios and make them work.
Yeah, I'm not super strong in one, but I'm sort of reasonable in most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a hint about what kind of role you might be in the
my identity, just
in our new team.
Jack of all trades.
All right, let's kick in with it. All right. So, did you want to take it from that point?
I could take it from that point.
That's why people can smash.
Yeah. So I'm with you now. I just lost my. That's why people can smash a new gym routine. Is like because of that novelty that they've got and the motivation is there early on. The real the motivation is really super high. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be super fit. I'm going to have these abs of steel and whatever else, and do all this sort of stuff. And then because they don't have that identity to back that up, then a couple of months later on, when they start flagging a bit, they don't have that reserve to fall back on or that identity to pull back on.
Yeah.
And then they just sort of fall off that wagon. Those old habits gradually creep in.
Yep.
They miss that 1 week or they miss 2 weeks, and it just starts to gradually unravel. And before you know it, you're back to where you were, sitting on the couch, and the gym membership, like mine, just gathers dust.
Crumple that up and throw it in the bin.
Yeah. But I think as you mentioned, and your examples of other athletes and stuff like that, like Serena Williams was another one that sort of sprung to mind. Post pregnancy, Serena had to navigate a shifted body, a new schedule, and outside narratives about what mothers can't do. She didn't chase random hacks. She widened her identity to a mother and a champion. And that reframe mattered. It let her pursue elite training blocks while protecting recovery and family time without seeing those as competing roles. So sort of spreading her time across all of those things rather than just one or the other, and changing that identity to fit all of that in. So the practical ripple of all that effect was that she had a smarter load management, selective tournament entries, and an inner script for herself that said, I am still the athlete who belongs at the very top level, that kept her old habits tethered when the spotlight intensified.
Yeah.
So when the media, really intensified on that, she was still able to keep those habits up.
And just, stay focused.
Yeah.
Which is just incredible. And her career, again, at the top level, has been just phenomenal, just outstanding. So we're going to pause right here, and we're going to get you to ask yourself, what's one label you've been carrying that limits you? I want you to write it down, because you can't rewrite a story you won't admit you're telling.
Yeah, when I say I'm a cyclist, people think I'm racing tours, or maybe not quite racing tours, but they think I'm like, pretty up there. And then when I say I Zwift, they think I'm fighting with strangers about racing categories on Facebook. Well, they just don't understand.
Yeah, I know you do that a lot, don't you?
I do. Normally when I say they're Zwift, they got no idea what the hell I'm actually on about.
You got to explain it to them. Like, what do you mean you ride indoors with other people? How does that work? And then you explain, it's around the world, and then they sort of, their eyes start to glaze over, and you go, okay, yeah, that's fine.
I just bring out the YouTube videos.
Show them, yeah, exactly. This is what I do, man. It's tough work. I did have someone in a Facebook group basically say that he wasn't convinced that Zwifting was real cycling.
Ooh.
And it was a contentious post and it had a lot of comments. But his argument was that because you're not riding outdoors, you're not having to deal with all the other aspects of cycling, wind, crosswind, rain, heat, road conditions, other cyclists, other cars, traffic lights, all these sorts of things.
Yeah.
He goes, no, Zwifting isn't cycling. And wow.
He was a purist, was he?
That was a heated debate. All right. So the Discord intro. So don't let this episode just be background noise. Jump into our Discord channel. It's where listeners turn ideas into action. You can share your proof stack for the week, connect with people chasing the same grit, and get the kind of support you won't find scrolling Instagram. And trust me, I've tried. There's a lot, but you won't get it. So it's way harder to go to goal when everyone is watching. And that's the trick, isn't it? Like that's why I keep doing the podcast.
Yep.
And that's why I also make myself captains of racing teams, because then I can't sort of,
Back out.
You got to turn up, and you can't make excuses about why it is that you can't race the week. So it's commitment. Well, commitment by responsibility.
Accountability.
That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. Accountability.
Yep. Even when I was doing my workouts, I was like streaming those.
Yep.
And not for any particular not for any particular person or purpose. But the purpose, I guess, was just purely so it actually made me accountable. Like people, could actually see that I was doing those things, that I was ticking off the goals that I was talking about each week, if they wanted to.
Yeah. And it's a big difference, isn't it? Like when you put yourself out there, you kind of got to back it up. I guess that's another identity that we both share, which is, content creation, YouTube streamers.
Yeah. If it's not on YouTube, it didn't happen.
That's it. That's exactly it. Although I haven't been streaming very much lately, but I know that when ZRL starts, that's next week. Is that next week?
I don't know, mate. I'm out.
Hold up. Gosh.
I've only committed to your team.
Yeah, you've committed to our Super 6 team.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic, by the way. And there was a hint before about which role I think you'll be up for.
Mm-hmm.
Can you spell GC?
Yeah, NK.
No. I'm a sprinter. That's my identity.
Oh, that's where you get that in early, where?
That's right. I've stitched that up.
I'll lock that in for me. Yeah, right.
It's either I'm thinking quietly. I'm thinking it's either GC for you or the wild card. Now the problem with the wild card is no one knows exactly what role the wild card will play until the start of the race.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's told what the target is for the wild card.
Yeah.
Just before the race starts.
Okay.
So I'm unsure, but I think you've got the diesel that we need to be to really stitch that up.
It's getting there.
Yep. I remember you meant before.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, you were just phenomenal. No, so it's a week to go before ZRL starts. As a side note for anyone who's racing in ZRL, it's on the 16th of September is the first race.
On Tuesdays here in S.
And then we've got the Super 6 starting on the 20th. Friday.
A little bit more time.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, you got to get a couple of races in.
Yeah. You got to get your rankings sorted out.
Yeah.
All right. Segment 2, upgrading your self-perception.
Yes. And now that we've laid out what identity trumps habits, why identity trumps habits, let's get practical. We're going to talk about upgrading the way you see yourself, because self-perception is the lens that controls every action you take. Change the lens and the actions naturally follow. We'll give you a framework to shift your old identity into a new one, and we'll walk you through the exercises so you can actually do it while you listen. An example of this, picture a smoker who wants to quit. When offered a cigarette, they say, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." That is habit-based response. Compare it to, "No thanks, I don't smoke." That's identity based. The second answer closes the door because it's no longer about effort, it's about who they are. They've sort of closed the door on being, excuse me, being a smoker. Which leads me to like this real world story from Satya Nadella, who's the CEO of Microsoft. Changed the Microsoft from a know-it-all type of environment to a learn-it-all type of environment. And when Nadella took the helm in 2014, Microsoft's culture had calcified around being right. So he reframed the company's identity from know-it-all to learn-it-all. That wasn't a slogan; it was a permission slip to ask better questions. Ship it, ship. Thank you. And partner where ego once blocked progress. The transition identity looked like we're becoming the kind of company that experiments and listens. This new identity, we are a learning organization, showed up as a concrete behaviors with cloud-first bets, cross-platform releases, and relentless postmortems. Belief changed first, habits followed, and then stuck. So the old framework, old identity, transition into new identity, because the radical leaps rarely last, but gradual shifts give your brains evidence to adapt.
Yeah, yeah. That's really powerful. So that whole I'm bad with consistency, because that's the story you've reinforced for years, the transition becomes I'm becoming someone who trains regularly because incremental changes feel believable. And then the new identity is I'm an athlete who trains consistently because repeated wins make belief inevitable. Now, we've got a worksheet there, Andrew.
Yep. And what we need you to do on that is to write down 3 old identities that you think are holding you back, because you can't fight what you don't name. Now, we would like you to rewrite each of those as a transition identity, because reframing it even slightly can change your next action. And for example, every action you take is a vote for the right type of person you wish to become, which is James Clear from Atomic Habits has written.
Yep.
So identities are built on evidence, not intention.
Yeah, exactly. And Carol Dweck in Mindsight says, becoming is better than being. Progress is a journey, not a static title. The fun's in the journey, isn't it?
Surely it is. Sorry, I just trying to get rid of that mouthful of water. But it's like when people say, and you would have heard this too, when you say, "Oh, you're going for a run," and somebody will say, "Oh no, I'm not a runner. I can't run."
Yeah,
that is like one of those classic old identities that would be holding everybody back, and it's not about, because they might have this mental perception that being a runner is somebody that can run a sub 3-hour marathon, or a sub 25-minute 5Ks or these sorts of things. And they've got to reframe that to being a person who can go out and do a slow jog for a couple of Ks, or essentially it's just fast walking. If you can put one foot in front of the other and you can do that at a quick pace, you're running. So
you're halfway there.
You're halfway there. Everybody can be a runner, and I think that's one of the things is like changing that mental mindset, thinking about why you're saying that you're not, and then seeing ways in which you can become the are.
Yeah, no, you're spot on too. And that's one thing I had been doing for a while with cycling, which is, I am a cyclist.
I embrace the lycra.
Yep, you got to own it. Got to own it. Got to own the legs. I go in. I don't think I tell people this that much, but I go and get my legs waxed. So I go to.
I used to.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've tried shaving.
My wife, yeah.
Hang on.
Oh, that's too buddy.
Yeah. Well, I get all these little pimples as well.
Oh.
They get itchy. Then they look horrible. It looks like
razor burn.
Yeah, I guess it's like that. Yeah, yeah. Hang on. Did you say you get your wife to wax your legs?
No. I used to get my legs waxed. I was about to say my wife just thought I was mad.
Yeah, yeah. But it looks good. I got to say, it does look good. Sharon likes it.
Oh, fresh set of pins, cleanly done.
Yeah, yeah. And when you got a bit of a tan too, and you got some definition on the legs.
Yeah,
for sure. And I don't have great legs. Like my calf
I'm sure you
muscles,
do.
I can, yeah, I've tried so hard on my calf muscles and they just respond. I've got those chicken leg kind of deal going on.
Because you got long limbs.
Yeah,
So you
that's
got
what
long
Shaz
limbs?
is. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, because I'm 6'2" and a bit.
Yeah.
So long legs. And it makes doing squats hard as well. Because you're meant to get right down on the squats. And I'll try to get right down, but it's a long way up again.
Yeah. I had a kid in the workshop the other day. He said, "Oh, can you do like he called it a sissy squat."
Oh, what's
And
that?
yeah, you sort of go down in a normal squat, and then you sort of go off the balls of your feet, so that so if you say you squatted,
Mm-hmm.
and then you roll forward from your balls of your feet to land on your knees, so you're sort of kneeling on the floor,
Okay.
and then you've got to basically come back onto your balls and stand back up again.
What?
And this kid did it, no hands on the ground or nothing.
So let me get this straight. So you squat down on the
Yeah,
balls of your feet,
yeah,
and then you roll forward onto your knees. So then you're sort of in a
yeah,
kneeling position.
yep,
And then you got to go
and
back
then you
onto the
sort of
balls of your feet
yep, and then stand up.
and stand up.
Yep.
I've got to try that.
And he asked me, he goes, "Can you do that?" And I went, "Mate, I'm not even going to attempt that. I know my limitations right now." And my knees would say, "No."
We got to change that identity to a teacher that can do one of those.
I'll see if I see him next week. I'll see if I can get a video of it.
Yeah, that'd be good. One thing we do in the gym when we're working out, and Sharon can do this way better than I can, which is to stand up without putting your hands on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so from like a seated position or lying on your back, sit up and then basically stand up without touching the ground, and it's insanely hard.
Yeah.
I don't know many people that can do that, especially at our age. But yeah, she does it really well. Just cross leg and just springs up. It's like, oh, okay.
That's
All
how it
right.
is.
Now, Rich Roll. Rich is or was a stressed out exec to. I'll start that again.
Is he a cousin to Rick?
Rick Roll. That's what I call it. Now, I didn't know about Rich until I read his story. So he was a stressed out exec and he transformed to an ultra endurance athlete. Now he's got he had the number one best-selling book in 2012 with the publication of his inspirational memoir, Finding Ultra, Rejecting Old Age and Becoming One of the World's Fittest Men. Now, I don't have the picture of it, but I've got the video. And this guy is ripped. I mean, gosh.
Like look in the mirror.
Well, oh mate, if you mean looking at someone who's been carved out of steel,
this is him.
It's pretty incredible. Now, so becoming one of the world's fittest men and discovering himself. On the eve of his 40th birthday, Roll had a wake-up call on the stairs. He didn't start with a punishing plan. He started with a new identity. He goes, I'm becoming the kind of person who trains every day and feels like an athlete. That's important too. That transition identity was crucial. It made earlier behaviors small and believable. Short sessions, plant-forward meals, strict bedtime. I struggle on the strict bedtime stuff, which stacked into proof. Months later, the identity shift was obvious to everyone else. He was an ultra endurance athlete. Now, the races and the results soon started coming along after the identity, not before.
Yeah, claiming you're athletes is fantastic, but until someone checks your Strava and sees that your average pace is slower than they walk to the pub, it's not much good.
Don't look at the details. That's like someone said to me about golf. He goes, no one ever cares how you hit the ball. It's just the number of shots you took to get in the cup. So you could zigzag across the course. It doesn't matter. No one cares about that. No. It's just getting it to getting into the cup. But this guy is just So I think
that photo is just awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. You see him just completely shredded. And I guess, to a degree, if you're going to be an endurance athlete, you don't want to carry, I'm going to skip through here a little bit. You don't want to carry
excess.
Try that again. Yeah, any excess weight.
No, he is as lean as his body fat must be like in the single digits at least, if not nothing.
Yeah. It's got to be right up there in terms of percentages. As in, no, I'll replay that. Write down in terms of percentages. I've still got to get my visceral fact check too.
Have you done that yet?
Well, I haven't redone it. I guess the important part is.
Hey, you on those drugs yet?
No, I haven't ordered them yet. I've been.
Ooh.
I know it's another thing I've got to order, but I've been on the creatine train at the moment.
Oh, how's that going for you?
Yeah,
changing the subject slightly.
Yeah, just go off tangent here in a second. It's interesting. Like, yeah, I'm not sure I'm seeing any significant changes. Okay, so here's the story with the creatine. So with creatine, the recommended dosage is 5 grams a day, okay, which is basically a little cup. But there have been lots of studies done on super dosing or mega dosing in creatine. We're talking like 20 grams a day, or someone is even now saying 25 grams a day. And so what it's meant to help with is recovery. It's meant to help with improved short effort durations. So sprinting or short climbs, these sorts of things, or running, that type of thing. So it's meant to help with that and then act as a faster recovery. But they're saying that once you begin sort of mega dosing, and you might not meant to do it for ages, like, people say, well, you mega dose for like a week and then you can bring it back down. Some people have said it for a month. So I've been going for like the last, I think, 3 weeks. And it's also meant to help with cognitive abilities, improving memory, other cognitive capabilities. And I'm unconvinced. Either I was pretty bad or good at memory stuff. I haven't really noticed much of a difference there. Like I think I noticed a couple of small things here and there where I may not have focused on it as much as I do now. So therefore I'm thinking I'm remembering it more. But I don't think I've really noticed it like out in the bike. So we did a ride, which I was kind of happy with the other week, coming back from Frankston around the bay here in Melbourne and sitting on the front. And I think we're averaging somewhere around 40, 42 Ks an hour. So that wasn't something that I could do that earlier, but it's not something that I've done a lot of recently. And to be able to do that made me think, well, maybe the creatine is working. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I'll keep it up and then I'll reduce it back to 5 grams and see how it goes. But then once I've done that, I'll go and get the NMN. And Sharon's on board with that too. So she wants a serving as well. So I'll get her some of that too. So I'll probably start that. I'm going to probably order that next week. And then I'll have that for a month before we get to lawn. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah.
All right. Aligning behavior with who you're becoming. So identity without action is just wishful thinking. Hang on. I got Rich. There we go. Been looking at us when we've been looking at this guy. Now, this final segment is where we anchor your new identity with proof through behavior. We'll explain why the brain trusts consistent evidence over big declarations and how you can use proof stacking to make your new identity undeniable, even to yourself.
Imagine a person who decides they're a runner. Instead of setting a marathon goal immediately, they run 1 mile a day or 1 kilometer a day every day for 3 months. The consistency builds a mountain of proof. So when somebody asks if they're a runner, they don't hesitate. The identity is no longer aspirational. It's proven, and in that sense that they can now tick off that they can run. This brings us to another story that you found, Nathan. Another athlete called Jocko Willink. Daily, who posts 430 posts as his public proof. So John Gretton, or Jocko Willink Jr., is an American author, podcaster, and retired U.S. States Navy officer who is a former member of and led SEAL Team 3. Now, SEAL Team 3, nicknamed the Punishers, I mean, that's got to be scary in itself, doesn't it?
I'm looking at the guy on screen there, and he's a scary looking guy.
Yeah, but if he fronted up to you in the middle of the night with like the camouflage all over his face, you'd know what they call him, the Punisher.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he was with this Punishers unit with in the Navy SEALs, and known for its combat operations, particularly during the Battle of Ramadi in 2006. This team has produced some of the most decorated and well-known SEALs, including Chris Kyle, Michael Monsor, Ryan Job, and Mark Lee. Wilnick has authored fiction and non-fiction books. His 2015 book, Extreme Ownership, has been on the New York Times bestseller list. In 2015, Wilnick started his own weekly podcast on YouTube called the Jocko Podcast. His YouTube channel currently has 1.8 million subscribers. Wilnick's famous 430 watch photos aren't motivational posters, they're receipts. He doesn't argue that he's disciplined, he proves it daily. That's proof stacking in public. The behavior, you wake, you train, you work, continually reinforces the identity. I am a disciplined leader or athlete. The practical genius is the signal is a binary. It either did or it didn't, and therefore it's hard to rationalize it away. And like those photos there, 4:31, 57, 4:33, 54, 4:30, 19. Every morning this guy is up and he's about. So our listeners can copy this mindset with a low drama habit, e.g. the kit laid out and a 30-minute zone 2 or a single check mark in Discord.
Yeah, that's it. And this is what I've been doing too. And I know you've been doing this as well, Andrew, because I've seen you online at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
This week has been a little bit of a struggle, but I think consistently I'm now getting up at 5:30 a.m. and I lay all my kit out and my heart rate monitor, I go and find it all, get it all there, get it ready, get my trainer set up, put the old beater back on the trainer. And then just wake up. And I put the alarm, put my phone near my kit so that I have to get out of bed to turn the alarm off. And then, once you're up, you're moving. So identity doesn't lock in until your behavior confirms it. So belief without evidence is fragile. That's why proof stacking works, building small, repeatable wins. Reputation convinces your brain more than one-time big efforts.
Yeah, as Angela Duckworth explains in her book, Grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Showing up repeatedly, even when it's boring, is how identities become reality.
Yeah, that's the trick, isn't it? The boring stuff. Yep. We're finding now at the moment, Sharon and I, the boring stuff is the food.
Oh, yeah.
That's the hard part because it's easy to go, well, when I say it's easy, I mean, okay, you do all the hard work, you get to the gym, you do the rides, you do all the things you're meant to do, and then you can kind of, it all unravels if you're not eating correctly, not fueling correctly, you're not getting enough protein. And so this is where we're kind of struggling with that too. But so that's what I was saying earlier on. So I didn't start by saying I'm disciplined. The brain rejects bold claims with no evidence. Instead, I logged each of my rides that I did. I was looking back at it actually. It's been, I think, 2013. So 12 years on the bike. I log each ride I did on Strava because each check-in was proof that I was become disciplined and then the performance improved. And it's great too because, well, in Strava, you kind of see your kilometers, you see your rides, you see the different stats that, just go, they tell you that you're doing the job. So not only was I no longer stopping on the climbs, which is a big thing. I remember the first time I did some climbing out Dandenong. I think I stopped like a half a dozen times up the first climb. It's insanely difficult. But I was getting faster each time. Now, I remember being my best mate, Steve, up Devil's Elbow, located here in Mount Dandenong. It was the first time that ever had happened. Up until then, Steve was the climbing goat. And on a few of the climbs, I won't tell him this to his face, but he still is. But after getting out to the hills regularly and suffering up the climbs over and over again, I was finally starting to believe that I could do this. And I could suffer the pain knowing that I could make it to the top.
Yep.
So before we get into that worksheet queue, Andrew, we've got the link to the listener worksheet, which will be in the description below. So you can click on it. It's free, download it, PDF. I think the Word document's there too. You can follow that. It's going to help with some of the things that we've been talking about. And then you can, take this on yourself and see if this will help you.
Yeah. So, on this week, on the worksheet this week, pick one behavior that proves your transition identity. So we're looking for micro evidence stacks faster than big promises. So looking at something that you can do in those small chunks.
Yeah.
Then share it in our Discord as your proof stack. Accountability doubles success rate. So if you make yourself accountable in these goals and actions, then you're much more likely to be successful in this.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if people online can identify as a pineapple, you can identify as an athlete. And bonus, pineapples don't skip leg day. Don't skip leg day.
No, they do not.
I've got a little parting comment that someone on Instagram posted, because it's easy to do that. And they basically said, what was it? It was talking about doing legs. Developing, like doing your legs, like squats and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Builds mental strength. So guys that just do, well, when I say guys, I'm not particularly singling out any one group, but in general, people who just focus on upper body, that's sort of, an easy target. But when you focus on legs, that's where the real change happens.
Yep. And you focus on your legs, do you, mate?
Not as much as I like. They're long. I'm trying. I went to the gym so I was there on Saturday, and I don't normally do leg press. I've been doing squats. So my squats have been, at the moment, I'm sitting at around 60 kilos, 65 kilos.
Yeah.
But I do 4 sets of 20 reps. And if you've ever done, like, throw some light weight onto a Smith machine or, just a bar on the shoulders and do 20 reps, it's the same as kind of doing a 1 minute or 2 minute effort out of the saddle up a hill on a bike. It's really difficult.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing.
Very good.
Yeah.
You'll be a climbing machine in no time.
Well, I just want to be competitive in the sprints. That's my goal. Sprinter.
So our call to action, and are we doing this?
Yep.
Call to action on our YouTube podcast. So while you're at it, hit the like, subscribe, or follow on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. We're everywhere. We're like spam. Or don't. We're not your parents, but we'd love to see you do it. But please share this episode with somebody who really needs to hear it, because changing identity doesn't just change workouts, it changes lives. You might be the reason they finally step up.
Yeah, lead by example. All right, so here's the recap. Identity drives habits. Your brain protects consistency with self-image. Upgrading self-perception changes everything. Belief steers behavior more than motivation. And proof stacking locks it in. Repeated wins are undeniable evidence. So head over to our podcast channel. So head over to our Discord channel, post your proof stack, and let's see the new identity you're building. All right, mate, bring us home.
So you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your identity, and your identity is the floor beneath your every choice you make. I think that's what you need to think about.
Yep, absolutely.
Viewers, listeners have to, think about and decide about that. I really hope that they take advantage of the worksheet and the cues and join us on Discord and on their podcast channels, and likewise. And hopefully they can come up with a proof stack. I think that'd be great.
I would love to see it. It'd be fantastic to see it. So I'm trying to work through that myself, and it'd be great to see what others come up with. So thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you.
All right, Andrew. Well, we'll see you in the next episode.
Yes, we shall.
Catch ya.